get for do with the backlog for APC MPs based on the agreements we then signed between the APC and the governments of Sierra Leone, and also the outcome of the peace dialogue. And for sake of that conversation this morning, we get Melvin Tijan Mansare, when I senior parliamentary correspondent. Good morning to you, Melvin.
Good morning to you and Fambo. Good morning, Phoebe.
So, for such the tone for that conversation day, we colleague Memuna Tusuma follow this situation and it being compile this report. We go join Memuna Tusuma now for this update before we come into that conversation.
From 16th to 18th October 2023 between the ruling government and the opposition party All People's Congress, numerous demands were made by the APC, and one of them is that elected APC officials who boycotted must be paid backlog, a demand that has stirred mixed reactions in the public, as some citizens welcomed it, citing that it is important for the government to accept the negotiation to maintain peace.
If not that, not the peace, well, then it left to government, because government now they give the money on behalf of we don't put the government, let them act on we behalf. If they feel say that's not the price for the peace, it's okay. Wait about peace now give and take, right? We are not talking about the value of money. What would they give the APC parliamentarian? Now the peace would they try to maintain.
While these people feel the demand is reasonable and justifiable, others hold a different perception on the issue, pointing out that such will set a bad precedent for the country's democracy.
As a citizen of Sierra Leone, we get lost in this country. We say, we person work at the end of the month for pay. If you don't work, you not for pay, you don't get right for pay. Because you don't work. The Bible says if we Christian, 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 verse 10, it tells we say, if somebody no work, you know for it. So I not feel say they're supposed to give them the money because they no work. If they work, they for pay them. So me own citizen, to me, they're not supposed to pay them because they no work. Ici salon, if you not left half or do lobby and then do something, somebody na because me brother na minister or my brother na honorable, he do something half or do lobby this country not they go before. When somebody do something when it's wrong, be you party member or not to a party member, be a brother or not to a brother, if you do something where if you say wrong, you not tell and say this way do it wrong. But if you not left half or do in this country, Sierra Leone they ever go before.
No, that money then are just a waste of time. I can't even talk about that money. That money is a waste of resources. Because now each and they go eat that money for nothing. And what did I get for decide? Right? What did the APC get for go decide? So it's better for let them for don't just sit down, they're not going to parliament. Than going to parliament. It's just a waste. Because then they go eat that money there for nothing while we they suffer. So it don't make any sense to me.
As the mediation dialogue ended in good faith for both parties, it is hoped that the resolutions inherent in the agreement will be adhered, taking into cognizance the Constitution and the interest of the populace. Memuna Tusuma, AYV News.
All right, plenty thank you to you, Memuna Tusuma, for that report. I'll come back to you, Melvin. You just done here within the expression of some citizens. Some man they talk say need not be there for they even give them or plan for give them the money because it don't make any sense. Like then think some people actually think say they not deserve for let them get the money. But before we come to that conversation day, what's now you take what they just concluded peace and dialogue?
Plenty thank you. I think say they just concluded the National Dialogue for Peace, Cohesion and Unity. Now a step in the right direction. Now a process, not one event. So it means say where it done means say the issues are resolved. It means say if you look at the document itself from its preamble to that of its resolutions, it's clear that the problem not to them begin or it not go down today, but that's why they get specific time frame for establish a committee, 6 months for them investigate and then outcome. So for me, I think it devised a roadmap out of the political impasse. And for that to foretell all of that, then put and they thank you, ECOWAS, EU, Commonwealth, but above all, we are local Leone. Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion. At first, I've been facing honorable for getting the job done because of conflicts, insensitive comments from one or two of the officials. But it seems as if, yes, if we get strong institutions instead of strong people, they can deliver. So for me, it's a process, like I say, and it's too early for jump to conclusion that somebody win or somebody lost, because some of the resolutions are optional, and that means they get to take a great deal of political commitment, and others, they are time bound, whether they in time then they go be attained or not, for establishment of the committee particularly. Others are not time bound. For example, who stand the president for addressing the nation on national unity and peace, that is not time bound. It's also not time bound when the main opposition, APC, go stop the non-participation in governance. Many people are hoping that they go in a parliament today. I doubt it. My sources are not telling me that, but they might be in parliament this week. So for me, I think, say, we are seeing some positive fruits. Even when you gauge response from government officials and opposition spokespersons, it seems as if everybody, they upbeat. You know, pessimisms then go there around as to what people they expect, and the propaganda we don't go around. But for me, I think, say, the process still unfold, and for their time for both.
I go on for let you highlight some of the specific terms and conditions of the agreements we signed between the APC and the government. We actually don't lead to the backlog, you know, for APC MPs in our parliament.
Thank you very much. They asked me academic question. And we're fumbled for the text and the literature of the waiting my sister they ask. The agreements and call a national agreement for peace. Definitely, if you look at item 4 or article 4 in the resolution and sub article D, it say that upon, well, the 4 says that the parties in the dialogue agree to the following. And when it comes to D, that upon assumption of their elective governance positions, all elected APC officials, in brackets, members of parliament, mayors, chairpersons, councillors, will have the issue regarding their entitlements addressed accordingly by the appropriate institutions. So what's in this mean if I for venture for interpret? And not tell me say them go pay the. He said the issue will be addressed. And addressing an issue, you know, mean say if for somebody not go work and the demand say them for get money or address that issue, that means to see the pay in your estimation. And he say by the appropriate institution. So we expect parliament, council, and their institution they will name for internally look at that. So where people now the vox pop, they say, well, they pay them the money. It speaks first to the issue that how will they frame we question and agenda as the media are very important. And of course, how civil society they champion the issues. So in this case, it's not clearly stated that it said the issues will be addressed. How will they be addressed? Do we know?
But if peradventure we get to a situation where then give them backlog payment for the term then where they not been they participate in a parliament, or then still go but they not give them backlog, then just pick up payments from the term where they begin work. Either of the situations, what would it mean?
It means a lot. Firstly, if then go now parliament as the first analogy you make, and then say, well, let me get them backlog, it speaks to a reverse analogy of what if it could have been the case that, okay, at the end of the day, find out that even the SABP MP that will take salary, they do not deserve for getter. So if they are going to agree on that, it will be a win-win, because for the fact that we never for know who that win or who that loss as per even the agreement. That is one. On the other scenario where you say then give them just go pay them for waiting, then go work for.
Yeah.
That is, well, from the moral standpoint, that is the moral right thing to do. But the deeper undercurrent there is, if you say you know they pay them or you they pay them, it gets a bearing on whether their boycott was justifiable or not. And are they conflict neutral commentaries come into place? Because if I can't sit down and venture say they did not pay them, then we're not able to establish whether the SABP MP that we don't take their salary deserve for getter. Then I'm already I'm not neutral to the conflict. So it's a dicey situation, and that's why they say by the appropriate institutions. I suspect it's going to be an internal in-house business, where they say we're not going to even know self I go end, because you see the public opinion on that is very divided and harsh.
We already don't get the public information now. Say they have sort of come to an agreement, to a conclusion, and the expectation are that, okay, come today, Tuesday, the APC elected members of parliament would be in parliament. But you mentioned something in you earlier statements about your sources not seem for the tell you say they would be in parliament. What you know?
Well, it seems as well we know that the APC representative them the afraid say that if I go tell them people them back saying I will be say we need to go, but you don't say now for go. Wait till I think about that.
But how would that play out? When the same APC being come public say now then supporters then tell them say not for participate.
But not tell we say whether not supporters then tell them for go make agreement. So that is the mismatch. And in politics, your fan base, your supporters, the voters count. So they will be playing that. It might be a filibustering tactics too for say okay well wait but because the resolution once say matter be enforced for talk the president. For addressing on national issues. So since you not talk it, low wait first, low year, wait till they talk. I'm just conjecturing. I'm just making a conjecture. So if item 1 is not achieved, I don't want to fan any flame of fire because we don't need a say for preach peace. But I mean, I don't want old brief for none of them because the resolutions are very clear in terms of priority. Priority 1, the president must address the nation on national unity. Resolution 2, the opposition commits themselves for end non-participation in governance. So, I don't know. I don't want to make much of that.
Well, fanning flames or not, there are certain parts of the discussion that cannot be swept under the carpet.
Of course.
The 3 days itself, questions have been asked about what to make President be no attend, VP no attend. It was the chief minister, Naina being the most senior government official there. And from the things highlighted, President supposed for make a statement to address the nation. That has not been done. So far, from waiting, they say these are the agreements. On both ends, we now seem for the see actions. What do you make of this situation? Say, like they don't inform you or say this is the outcome. Now this will don't grip on. But both ends, all man seem for like the only you and force, like everybody's keeping their cards.
Fabian, you got it right. I mean, I call it hide and seek. Everybody waits first. Other first the first touch, first snack kind of situation. Other first they pull the string. Other first they make the move.
And like be the primary school where you don't malice you party, then they make peaceful now. The peace don't done, but other first they talk to
incoming. Now, I think that situation though we did. But that is quite important because one of the provisions in the resolution they say all waiting come out of that committee they should be actionable. And there's another adjective used. So from the first, this line for be the first action. If APC go to parliament, they should say they are more than serious for the peace.
And if they don't?
If they don't, I don't know what will be coming out. But the question there is, what is holding the president, and only the president don't come or not come it, for address the nation? So it can be, I mean, like Phoebe, like you rightly say, that's this versus that. But I think say, we need to go past that. And somebody forced for putting foot inside this water. And
now, Melvin, how this whole thing don't affect the functioning of parliament and also looking at the political landscape. And same way, so what does this mean? Let's say, for instance, today the other members of the APC go to parliament. What does this mean for the two people? I mean, Honorable Mohamed Bangwe and Honorable Alfred Thompson, we actually don't go before, and go swearing in parliament.
It will be an interesting uncertainty because the resolution captured that specifically. And if you permit me again, so you ask the lecturer question there, I will read them for you. In the same resolution 4E, it says Parliament to address any issues as it relates to the leadership. 1, Phoebe, and take notes. Composition of committees and representation in international parliaments on behalf of the APC, and there is a bracket there. The composition of the committees and international parliament must reflect APC's share of seats in accordance with the Constitution of Sierra Leone. So the question where you ask, Madam Terry, is the first part. The first part is leadership. First, as it stands, where APC they can, Odaga for can replace Cherry Coco and the other leader than they. So APC, in as much as they don't do them political boycott, but they get governance issues for can grapple with. How then they set them bench, where another point, they don't get the numbers. They don't have a simple majority, unlike in the last 5th parliament. Now, SLPP then get that number there. But interestingly, how APC leadership get for manage the issue of a 2/3 where SLPP also not gets, where they not get. It can be an interesting watch. That is the first part, the leadership. Then now APC, then not to government your side and do. So, Honorable Mohamed Bangura in faith, where you rightly ask, as per the Constitution, it's going to be a decision of the APC. So I suspect they will send a list of their new leader and deputy leader, whip and all that, and that will be an automatic replacement.
It's obvious, say, Honorable Mohamed Bangura and APC, they at loggerheads. The battle, for some people don't side with Honorable Mohamed Bangura, say, oh, what he did was in the interest of the greater good, for show up and represent. But then you get, you know, in party way, just believes in an anti-party activity that now, coming back to Parliament, APC, they at liberty for can choose now than the minority leader who represents them, ECOWAS, all that. But Honorable Mohamed Bangura, being always done the seek refuge under the wings of the Speaker of Parliament, does the Speaker of Parliament have the authority for sort of protect Honorable Mohamed Bangura as minority leader?
He will have the authority as Speaker to protect him as a member of Parliament.
No, I ask as minority leader.
Let me land as a member of Parliament. And the context that it be that minority leader by default. So now the Speaker will be duty bound for implement the recommendation and the resolution that means waiting APC wants. So that's going to be an interesting watch as to how the SLPP government, Phoebe, I know where you're coming from, that has got to do with political commitments. Whether the APC, whether the SLPP will protect Honorable Mohamed Bangura against these resolutions, and penultimately, what will they be recommending? Of course, the Speaker will have no choice. Honorable Mohamed Bangura will be stripped. That's my prediction. But whether he's going to be stripped from the ECOWAS Parliament, that is going to be serious. Yeah, exactly. Because at the ECOWAS Parliament, it's a sessional thing. It's for a year. So now, except it takes serious political sincerity on the part of SLPP. But say, okay, Honorable Mohamed Bangura, you not been there. Now, if party don't send list, say you know for the ECOWAS, you will kindly consider. That would be a political betrayal of Honorable Mohamed Bangura too. So the SLPP also then are.
So who has the power for make that decision, especially when it comes to ECOWAS Parliament on APC, the representation, the seat that Mohamed Bangura holds?
Who has the power? Well, Fibiana, intricate question. If you allow me, small time lab broken down. Would I get the power for make person be member of delegation or international parliament? Now, a question we get two answers. One. Now in political party, we get the power for tell the leadership of parliament say, well, we get them space here, so by virtue, now make you see the agreement say by based on the numerical strength. So for now, ECOWAS parliament, as you say, now one APC, they unlike before, when they get Honorable Ajibola Man in Spain, and then they get Honorable Chairman Ramadan Majuba. Now one. And not to SLPP cause that. Now by virtue of the result, the numerical strength, because SLPP beaucoup pass APC in a parliament, then get beaucoup members in our committees, then get beaucoup members in our international delegation. So counter your question, APC get the power for recommend to the speaker in our delegation this, and the speaker now get the power now for right to the international parliament. So who say all things normal, now the political party get a decision for send members to international delegation.
With the way things are going, could Mohamed Bangura, Honorable Mohamed Bangura, lose it all?
I don't think it's
not in membership in parliament,
I know.
but in authority from the parliament now as minority leader to a representation at ECOWAS parliament. Is he in a position that he could lose it all now that APC don't decide for can fully participate?
It's going to be difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult, not only for the, let me begin with the APC, because you have contention with a rebel, SO2, not PTI, rebel MPs. Rebel MPs is a term used across all parliamentary jurisdictions. That are the one, the way party say A, now B. So now APC, how then it treats Mohamed Bangura and Honorable Thompson, it get for be like a snake, where then they keep na them bosom. Where if they're not all and fine is that bag they bet there. If they're all and fine, it can bet the other way. So that is one aspect of it for the APC, how they treat Mohamed Bangura. For SLPP, if they not play by the rules of the game, when the APC for decide when them people and they, then the APC go quickly raise the flag that, oh, these people are interfering. So I suspect the word interference or intra-party meddling. Now that charge they get for CAM if SLPP not deal with the matter that kind of way. But again, SLPP back for be very careful because we Honorable Mohamed Bangura and Thompson and we go to Parliament. We see how they hail there. He was taken to New York. He is now in I think in Kiev. He's just coming from Accra. So the man already does Assad. So how are you gonna give up somebody that Assad and carry them day for just go? I don't know if this Assad or this insert go work for her. So it's gonna be a critical balance for APC. If they want political stability and formidability, Mohamed Bangura could be a component for fragility.
So you therefore say he gets the support of the ruling party?
It just get, if you never be getting, never be the ECOWAS. If you never be getting, never be go New York. If you never be getting, never make a chairman committee on foreign affairs.
But that was default because he was the only.
Yeah, default. What is the government compensating now for in defaulted action?
What authority does the SLPP get in Parliament for able to compensate Honorable Mohamed Bangura and Honorable Alfred Thompson as against the political party?
They are in governance. We saw that with Honorable Bernard Lahai. A political party in our government for beating our parliament is not funny. And we see I make SLPP them be tawat in that fifth parliament because they not be get that majority. When a political party is in charge of government, with democracy no reach side for like feds and kind feds then they. So the SLPP said it's a litmus test as to how democratic they're gonna be. I suspect it's gonna be like Mohamed Bangura, like the former minority leader Bernard Lahai. It will be very difficult. They're gonna protect him because then we have to let the speaking language. And mind you, SLPP need 4. Already they don't get
but
2.
It's not that Honorable Mohamed Bangura being actually they speak SLPP in language in Parliament. Because even when he was there, he had moments where they challenge things that would go against the SLPP. So it's not like he was dancing to the tune of the SLPP anyway.
Yeah, but his judgment is from his political party. His political party, don't forget, as it stands, the non-suspender. And they don't go to, it supposedly for we don't go to committee or internal committee on disciplinary action. So if it's not been suspended, that is the political fight. So he might be speaking the language, but the fundamental, the primary language of his party, he not speak. When they say, "Lo go," he say, "I need to go." They say, "No go," he say, "I need go."
Has this opened a door for make APC go through on probably if there was a hidden agenda for say, let we remove Honorable Mohamed Bangura as a member of Parliament by probably taking away his membership. Does this open that door for them for start that conversation with the speaker?
Me not a lawyer, but APC the lawyer them for think well about that situation there. Because waiting on Honorable Mohamed Bangura in constitutional crime. You might have violated your party constitution, but now the Salon constitution you violate. And when you go to the court of Salon, you will go to party constitution as secondary, but now the constitution of Sierra Leone are in the first base. So APC for be very careful how they go about Mohamed Bangura issue, because if not, I'm afraid it's what's going to be crippling them in the 6th Parliament.
If they do that, how would it affect them? If like them take away membership and attempt for unseatam na Parliament, how would it affect the APC?
Well, that would be for the courts. That now for them judge in a way sabi pass with the law. Whether APC correct.
No, but why your perspective? Because you've been in Parliament for a while.
Of course, we get precedent them we make them very difficult. Of course, yes, decisions in way Parliament they take can be inquired by the law. I get a precedent now. Yeah. Decisions. So for this situation, it will be it will be difficult for the APC for remove there. That is the first place. It will be very, very difficult. They might do all the procedures, but by virtue of political protectionism, that will be difficult. So for me, I think APC gets bigger issues for contend with than for go distract themselves. Because to what end? You go fet and say, and the more you do fet, mind you, the person in question, not to that kind, people might get opinion, but not to that kind drag man politician, or he don't establish himself. What if while you do the fet and back the fet, you everything the party they begin fishing for some of the rank? And APC for be mindful, say they only need, SLPP need just 2 of them now, because media assume say SLPP already gets Mohamed Bangu and Honorable Thompson, directly or indirectly. So if APC continue for can fet themselves rather than for fet national issues, the parliament, I'm afraid they will not enjoy the kind of formidability they enjoy under Cheriko.
Melvin, let me go back to the National Peace Dialogue. Just after the announcement of the results, you see there was this huge confusion and disagreements, from the opposition. And several international organizations and only called for a dialogue and all of that. Now, in your opinion, what are the key takeaways from this 3 days dialogue? And you actually think, say, this issue don't resolve between the government of Sierra Leone and that of the APC?
No, Danny, blind man says for possibly not the you know, say this issue not resolve it. The resolution necessarily tell me that, preamble tell me that. So an officer it don't done it, but it in the process for end.
Does it speak to the interests of the APC?
It speaks to all interests. Because if you form that committee now, what if that committee they compel ECSL say we need the disaggregated data? But again, there's a catch there. What is the constitutional basis for this committee when they go set up? And so the way people say, the issue in the way APC they talk about not address them, that is like beating the gun. Because that committee they say within 1 month for establishing a tripartite leadership committee, we get APC international partners and that of the government. And say the committee. So it's a long process, and again up to 6 months. And they say the recommendation should be actionable. So rather than the way they feel say this process is not done, that process also events. That is just like the events. Now we set the stage for me, and definitely for say somebody win or loss. It's too early to say. It will be too premature.
So you therefore say the process can actually last till the end of term safe?
No, the process gets 6 months as per the agreement where they sign. But waiting not clear, because the preamble tells you say the constitution is sacrosanct. What's the legal basis of this agreement? I was asking last night. It says it's actionable. What if somebody government say I need to do? Or what if APC need to do? What is going to be binding them as per law?
On that regards, yesterday we get lawyer Rashid Umbuya and he was totally against most of the things we've been there as part of the agreement. And Fabian been asked him a question of which I want to ask you back. Do you think this national dialogue was much more that of the government of Sierra Leone and that of the APC, or it should have been the APC and that of the ECSL, because that's where the confusion is, the fact that they're not satisfied with the outcome of the results?
Well, no, confused Fambule. ECSL is property of the government of Sierra Leone. And the government of Sierra Leone is under the reign of the Sierra Leone People's Party. That is the basis. Any other one has semantics or analogies, that are different. So you cannot divorce the government of Sierra Leone from ECSL. You cannot divorce ECSL from, but more so you cannot divorce SLPP from government or ECSL, because government, the SLPP, it's called SLPP-led government. So if somebody in a lawyer, they say it should be about where David Senga go represent the, by virtue, I expect that he should have been well briefed by officials from ECSL. Although government really talk say ECSL an autonomous body, so they shoot themselves at them foot where they go negotiate on behalf of ECSL. I'm sure that's the legal aspect.
So that's exactly where I was going to take you, because even President Webb in the UN General Assembly make mention say U.S. government want push them for interfere and infringe on the independence of the electoral body. So how then do we connect the dots now where from President, even in your statement don't say, they're pushing him for infringe on the independence of electoral body. Then now we get Chief Minister representing a conversation where the crux of the issue now, APC get issue with elections, the results and the data way CSL for release. How do we connect the dots now without saying again, this is government infringing on the independence of ECSL.
Well, firstly, I don't want to talk for government, but I think in the interest of peace, now I make government to take this adventure. Now I make them one way they go and fast in this talk. If not the law. If not by the law has not provided anything for negotiation. We're not so lawyer, but Fambo like in text and call, who citing the provisions of the Salon 91 Constitution say negotiation is allowed. So because of the law has been shelved in that lens. So I think say the president and the government count the cost. We're not for make like the government look like for say them blunder back. Because now we will say the government is arrogant. So if it's by the law, the government for they on top of the high horse. But this is not about the law. This is about visa bans. This is about delayed MCC compact. This is about political threats every day, every 2-3 weeks. When they come out. The government has got that duty for make sure that stability and peace prevail. Even if it's about, slicing some elements of the law. So the government will praise them for what they do. Because if not by the law, the government not get no guide for going on a table day. Say tomorrow, they argue say ECSL don't declare we, and now if we want to negotiate, that means say we want to infringe. But there is a catch there. Because the government no say, then they don't say they don't want influence. That's why they are bringing in this tripartite leadership committee. Now, the government will not say that Jew left for leader. But they agree. We praise the government for that. Say that, okay, well, we get 3-way leadership now. Unlike the power recommendation, that be Jew left no more. So we should commend the government for that. And that's what I'm talking about, conflict-sensitive communication. Because we can't make like for say the government don't lie, or they don't blunder, or they don't do bad. It enforce imposition for say, okay, well, take tell, and I'm going to make sense. Mother be take for talk or APC take for going to parliament. So we for consolidate the peace. As you talk about the law, Melvin, I want to bring you to something. Also part of what Whitney agree from the 3 days. The D part of the resolution says that upon assumption of the elective governance positions, all elected APC officials, in bracket, members of parliament, mayors, chairpersons, councillors, will have the issue regarding their entitlements addressed accordingly by the appropriate institutions. Now, when they're not being go parliament, that conversation on the entitlements, them post-service, how the calculation of the entitlements start, where they're supposed to attend all sessions. Clearly, they've not attended all sessions. And if, as per this, addressing the entitlements, it goes back to say, okay, when I get full benefits, what does this mean as far as the law itself goes to say full representation, complete entitlement package? I always can say the law not like us. Now how you write that? If you don't want to get the law provide for you not get there. But if you say because of peace, law can settle, it's gonna be another issue back way. This is not set side bet for kind of situation, Fabian. You cannot have it all, and you cannot give it all. So we gotta get a middle ground. So mind you, not say they will be addressed, and now they will be start, Fabian. No more. Now they will be start. Should be addressed. How then they address her? They can address and say, okay, well, let's bygones be bygones. Or they can address and say, well, you can have this, but not this. We don't know how they go for address her. Don't assume say they go say, let them get there or let them not get there. But we assume that they will get middle ground.
But clearly, it is obvious that the proposal from the, by following the trend of the conversation of APC and SLPP, even when you're not in the room of the dialogue, you could predict what the conversation was. It clearly would be that the APC was requesting that, okay, as part of the negotiations, let them get back the full benefits as part of, reasons or incentives for letting go back in parliament.
Well, that's make, if they don't want the APC then that, I mean, disaggregated data for we don't come on. We don't clearly say APC then boycotts. Buffing boycotts. Begin no sense para.
And but now that has still not been put
so because it has not been established, somebody have to set aside bet fat food, Fabian.
And Melvin,
please, sorry, man. If not for blast APC, they're saying enough. We boss working enough for get money. But that is not that in a normal situation. This is not a normal situation. This is a situation of protestation that is yet to be established.
And we don't compromise. We seem for the compromise the laws now just for the peace reign. So if we're picking this back to the genesis of this problem, It's APC dissatisfied with ECSL, say they are not sure what they announce, reflective of the voting, the actual voting results. If we're bending the laws here and there for let peace reign, the question is, why will not also bend the law for let ECSL release the data if actually, yes, okay, then sure say APC has no claims whatsoever. Instead of going this long road where APC get for can provide list of people where they think say were arrested due to politics, where they can't compromise giving benefits to people, all these other compromises. Why not just solve them with one grain compromise of ECSL releasing the data?
That is the arrogance before the peace count of the government and ECSL. And the provision where the bank pass section 92, and they talk about results should be satisfied at districts and other regional and other levels. So, Phoebe, you question that if the law, ECSL, you say the law not say for provide disaggregated data, but on the other hand, the law not stop them say una for provider
either.
So how we fix that? That's where the judiciary comes under the radar. And let's not forget, these resolutions, one side the way they indict the judiciary, people don't know what lacking to talk that area there. Where you say, well, now the last part, this argument, I will go for study a long, it will be another TIC report, this one. One side, item D, it tell you say there are cases in the Supreme Court against ECSL. Then you kind of item I in the preamble, and it say there are no records of anybody challenging the gazetted results. What is this say?
It's contradicting and contradicting.
Exactly. In one hand, matter in the Supreme Court, well, in my own interpretation now, unaddressed. So now they want to say, hey, why not go to court? I am not only in a brief. And I don't really talk about me. I'm not the APC, I'm not the SLPP. They don't want to go to one of them parties, the Amphibian. And they can't pay for your time for declare to the nation because they hold me in public trust. I'm not just here too, but the public hold me in high trust. So the issue here is Amphibian. This is simple. As you rightly don't put her. No, you say the law not say you for do that, but the law back
not so you say not do one.
Not so you say not do one. So in the interest of if you know say
and we compromise the law in so many other ways just for the sake of the same conversation.
Exactly. So why we not compromise that big element that will avoid all NCR camper? So for me, now the ECSL self and the judiciary come under the radar. Then cases then they against ECSL. Then for expedite time and let we know whether the ECSL is right or wrong and the one that we file against ECSL right or wrong.
Talking about, when they talk about compromises, Leone asked about is this a win-win situation? The reason why I make ask that question, in the resolution here, section 4 of the parties to have a dialogue, you know, and it say release of any persons arrested, detained, and or imprisoned for illegal elections and civil protests informed by a list to be submitted by the APC and other political parties and considered by the government of Sierra Leone, and also the discontinuation of any political motivated causes against the APC, other parties and their supporters. So what do you make up of this?
Impregnated. He say release of persons arrested, detained, and or imprisoned for alleged elections and. All right, that's if once it directed to the elections, somebody will say, well, it should be on the table because all the process tilted towards amending the problems of the post-elections. That is well for the political parties. But they tell you again, it's informed by a list to be submitted by the APC and other political parties and considered by the government of Sierra Leone. Firstly, you say other political parties, then they come on. Whether or not the parties plaba. And the drafters of they will tell me that because now the preamble and tell we clean say this palaver between APC and the government of Sierra Leone.
But it's the alliances that we saw even before elections.
But
the other political parties forming alliance with either the APC or the SLPP.
Which one form alliance with APC?
You can go back to COP, for example.
COP be now
Unity in one pan
Unity not participate. They participate by the presidential.
Participation or not, they are a registered political party.
No, but if you don't say the preamble, listen to palaver between me and Phoebe and Swin, how we can connect to that policy.
So you party they support you,
yeah.
But also come
but it should have been established that because APC began alliance with other political parties or other political parties and get like issues, you establish it. You know, just can't bring them into the picture when an APC get their own case. So that is one, but on that same aspect where you raise, there is this other aspect where they talk about the discontinuation of any politically motivated court cases against.
Yes,
now that's what I tell you.
Rashid said that particular part there is they indict the judiciary. Then try cases were politically motivated. So if they stress on the point, say choice of words is a problem with the entire report itself.
Hey, lawyer Rashid and lawyer, then they go argue and on a court. But this is a political and diplomatic matter. The people learn are waiting on the rights, and no rights. If courts not say they don't get political matter, let them cast the pay. People know that they pay the judiciary for can we all the facts and figures say firstly president we don't talk to we don't get political matter. They say
that also they indict the government for say oh yes it's say if they can't provide a list now then they release them. It's a confirmation say also governments will not been guilty of politically motivated.
Well, and then talk and then any count no go out peace. If everybody wants to say where you give this you always go pull up you always go come on and do here peace not go there. Government will not like itself to be embarrassed. APC will not like itself to be embarrassed in this process. So let's say set the best fat foot in this. All man we know say President Bio don't talk say we have no political prisoners in Sierra Leone. But for the fact now they don't go agree, is that not political realism? Or not because people want to protect the institutions that them belong to? This is just the facts. Then people will not lie at all. So if SAPP says agree, David Senge sign. Why you can raise issue? Let we look at the end game, the result. Not if we begin pick all. This year we will pick all parentheses. At the end of the day, the Supreme Court go interpret it for me. And they will depart political turmoil for the next 5 years.
So what should be the way forward for APC, SLPP? Well, SLPP by extension, not just the party, the government led by the SLPP, and the people of Sierra Leone. If we really intentional and deliberate, if we really intentional and deliberate about making sure, say, this process works, we get to a point where peace prevail. What should be the way forward? What kind of actions should we take?
The way forward, this documents provider. And I make people want candidate documents, man, I go gladly. These documents are documents we for use them for future. So if possible one Kanda and say because not suit in disposition, let's take Kanda. Now, Fabian, go to Article 4E of the resolution. It say of the agreement recommends to Parliament to agree. Okay, that is for Parliament. There is the article where they talk about all the outcomes. Let me just bring it for you quickly up. Should be actionable by all sides. So if we don't get firstly a committee where independent will comprise in simple this the way forward now for give life to waiting the two parties there or all parties don't agree. That is the way forward. We need sincerity, commitment, and actions, and the word where they use applicability. That is the way forward because they're not saying that the document are way forward and I make them sign now. So we applaud them for that. So the way forward now, all waiting and sign for let them do it and let them do it in good faith. We go not only get any kind of problem again in the future, but we'll get a strong democracy. So this document, it gets in merits and demerits, but in the interest of peace. We'll be right back to one day to talk about this issue. Wait till they ever talk about the impasse. Nothing. So for people we can mediate and can with documents, make peace. Why people in Africa begin pin holes them para. It not will be perfect documents, but it's a document for the sustainable peace, democracy, and stability of Sierra Leone. David Senge and Mother Bio in team no go sign because they want sign. APC, Samoa Kama and then party no go sign because they want sign. And because they know say it contains something, if actions are taken on them, we go not go reach their road here. So we all for treaty documents.
As we try to wrap up this conversation, in your opinion, are there concerns about the impartiality and fairness of the government between the APC and that of the government of Sierra Leone, especially with regards to the impact of the political representation?
That question, in a lecturer question, they asked me, who come from a small bar? I don't understand, fine. I
mean, you think, say, concern day with regards the fairness? I mean, is the government of Sierra Leone fair with the opposition party with regards to the political representation?
Once, whether we don't know that number of seats APC getting a parliament or SLPP getting at its good number. So long wait till that committee come, then I can tell we say, from what we find out, the representation is not reflective. We will not be premature in saying it's reflective or not. As it stands, now because SLPP feels say representation is part of democracy as said by the speaker in the last sitting, now make them go make peace. All man know say SLPP government are pauper. Pauper, we know the meaning. So if they forget about them pauperism, they say let's come to democracy. You cannot scandal them because of them going to the drawing board. For the fact that they go and go agree, for the fact that they sign, for the fact that we expect. So they are willing for the people there, opposition, be part of governance. So that will be my take. And of course, the opposition too, they are willing. That's why they went there and agreed. So what will we wait for now? And for let the part talk, let APC then begin participate, and let that committee form, among other issues. We should be upbeat and positive. Let people in the begin candidate the process, so the process not done it. Not begin go follow Adebayo in kind of approach. We don't need that at this country. Let us wait, let us trust the process. You know, I don't talk about trust the process. It's not SLPP slogan. Now, trust the process. It means you, APC, you, SLPP, you, other political parties, you partners, we all for trust the process and allow the process for breathe for the benefits of Salon people already suffer. MCC compact don't delay. People, some man get visa ban, you don't even know. The last 10 and cancel people in the visa appointment interview. On no grounds for let you to support yourself for talk. So let's count the cost. The government not full way and go sign. APC not full way and go sign. So let we complement their all efforts. Let we get a peaceful and politically stable Sierra Leone.
But U.S. embassy been say they're not to cancel and cancel. Then Alpha talk and then reverse sort of the time for the appointment. Yeah, so it was not cancelled. So probably you say you are clear backlog. January you go in October or November.
How do they clear the backlog, Fibian?
But
that person you want to go America. It's like you close the process outside, you go apply back. So, how is that clearing the backlog? We're not always man them, okay, understand?
We are hopeful to see other members of the APC in our parliament.
Well, I don't feel so. They're all going for go as a unity, hopefully. Yeah. And at the big the President Bio, they are allowed to talk because APC and I don't go use that as excuse. The partner enforce, they say resolution when the partner force for talk. So if the partner enforce talk, then they will give them courage. But that is not an excuse. If we don't go sign, una self can lead by example and go participate in governance. Now that's all man they pray for. And then one way they pray for the peace no day. We need for the release Governor Clarkson in prayer for the
So probably the public can judge both political parties by their actions and inactions.
God bless
All
you.
Right. Plenty thank you to you, Melvin Tijan Mansari. We're a senior parliamentary correspondent, and in Bidea also for talk about parliament backlog for APC members agreed in the agreement signed between the APC and the government of Sierra Leone with regards the national peace dialogue.